Neonic Void Productions presents.
Do you know who the strongest kaiju is in America?
Who?
You're gonna get so pissed off. Paul Bunyan. Paul Bunyan's a kaiju.
I don't know who that is.
Paul Bunyan, the American folklore of Paul Bunyan. He's a kaiju. I watched that video. I agree. I concur. He is a kaiju, and he's way stronger than the American Godzilla and King Kong. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean,
does that mean
radioactive iguana and a giant gorilla?
Yes. I did say that correctly. Yes.
His blue
him and his blue ox and cow, because he also makes kaijus.
Paul Bunyan, the fuck? I mean, I'm not mad yet.
I'm not mad yet.
So true. Because he's a giant. He's a giant from Norway, from Europe. So he's not technically a humanoid. He's a giant.
Paul Bunyan is a giant lumberjack and folk hero in American and Canadian folklore.
Yeah.
His tall tales revolve around his superhuman labors, and he is customarily accompanied by Babe the Blue Ox, his pet and working animal.
So Babe the Blue Ox, we're going to get a history lesson today, kids. We're going to put this in front of the Cloverfield episode.
Why?
What? Because I got real excited because Shit Tip posted that, or Housekeeper posted that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm look into this. And accurate. So here what happened, right? 5 storks carried a giant baby over to North America, right? From Europe, right? He was delivered to the wrong place, obviously. He was supposed to eat a giant. But somehow he made it over to North America. Parents raised him. And then when he got old enough, he found a calf in the middle of a blizzard that was so cold, it turned the calf's skin blue. Now, the calf was a normal sized calf, right? And he raised the calf. But the calf ended up growing to a kaiju size, just as big as he was. And there's this whole... And he also raised a cow. So a cow and the bull, the ox, who are not giant, when he raised them, he made them giant, but just by raising them. So he can make kaiju, right? And he also created the Grand Canyon by wrestling the ox. They were play fighting, and they ripped Ephesians into the ground and created the Grand Canyon and mountain ranges and shit. While Godzilla and King Kong are fighting to the death, and barely any of the buildings are falling down. That goes to show you, Paul Bunyan would have kicked Godzilla and King Kong's ass. Period. I will stand by that. Paul Bunyan, the American kaiju.
Well, like I've said, everyone's entitled to their opinion, even if they're wrong. And you're clearly forgetting about the time that Godzilla took a literal black hole to the face because, sci-fi logic. And also the fact that he is literally a walking fusion reactor that at one point went through a meltdown, and that meltdown was calculated to have been so powerful that he would have cracked the planet in half. So,
yeah, I knew Kaiju Groupie was gonna have a bitch fit about it. I knew.
This is not a bitch fit. This is just a statement of fact.
Oh, it's not a statement of fact. Oh no, sir. You need to watch the video. I was kind of the same logic. I'm like, you know what? You're right.
I don't need to watch the video to know it's wrong.
No, it's not. It's really not.
It's so wrong.
It's really I will stand by the fact that opened my eyes to the realness of Paul Bunyan.
Oh yeah, sure. He created a fucking canyon, and meanwhile Godzilla's almost cracked the planet in half. All right, yeah.
Did he though? He really didn't. Did he though?
He almost did.
Really didn't.
They didn't stop him. They had to stop him though, because if he did, okay, that would have been really bad. So they had to stop him.
Okay. All right.
We each have our hills to die on. Okay, go stand on your tiny little hill with Paul Bunyan. Okay.
Yeah, I will stand on that tiny little hill. I'll stand on that tiny little hill with a giant man, an ox, and a cow that could rock Godzilla's world.
And you're also forgetting the fact that the unreleased versions of Shin Godzilla involved him becoming a literal.
Well, I'm not talking about.
monster.
I'm not talking about the other Godzillas, and don't give fucking spoilers. God damn it! I wanted to be a surprise, sir. I wasn't talking about the Japanese Godzilla. I'm talking about the American 2014 Godzilla. Thank you.
Your mom's Godzilla.
Your mom's Godzilla.
What all is needed to qualify as a kaiju?
There's a lot of things that qualify as a kaiju.
There's-
First
I
off,
mean,
you
like,
don't need a
Like, do you need a minimum size, height requirement?
no size is not a requirement.
Clifford is
No, if you watch, there's a new anime that's coming out called Kaiju number 8. I've been reading the manga, and like a lot of the kaiju are man-sized. In fact, the main character is a man-sized kaiju. It really refers to kaiju literally means strange beast. That's a direct translation. So, the Japanese term daikaiju refers to giant monster. So Godzilla is a daikaiju. And apparently Paul Bunyan too.
Mm-hmm.
So is Clifford.
So is Clifford. Clifford the big red dog.
That is true.
Oh yeah, speaking of anime, housekeeper, I caught up on Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm not.
I finally did it.
Yet. I'm not caught up. I haven't watched any of the new episodes, but
Oh.
no,
Oh,
I
no,
already know
there's
what happens. I already know what happens, but we'll.
Oh, so the new episodes are out already?
Yeah.
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 Oh, nice.
Who wants to handle Cloverfield?
Obviously, everyone.
We're all going to take turns. We're going to talk about 15 minutes of this part of the movie, 15 minutes of this part of the movie.
No.
Again.
What?
Like we're in high school again.
No.
You
There's
read this paragraph. You read this.
God damn.
But this paragraph's too big.
Okay. I'm gonna pick 2 people to do the plot, and then everyone else can chip in on like the other stuff, opinions throughout, whatever. But Bunyip and Mad Chairman, Cloverfield.
My opinion is I'm going to need like a really nice plot summary to this.
Yeah, you're gonna give a plot summary. Now, you don't have to go over the whole plot because the plot's not that in depth.
Yeah,
but
it's not too important.
Isn't it?
All I can remember is here's the camera footage of 2 characters that were together, even though it's implied that maybe they weren't supposed to be.
Was it?
I don't know. Someone was like, this person slept with Beth, and it was like, wait, aren't they supposed to be together?
1 second of the movie.
Yeah.
That was
like literally
1
the
second of
first.
the movie.
That was like literally the beginning.
But
they say it like it was like a scandal. It's like, don't tell anybody, but this happened. I'm like, weren't they? In the beginning, it seems like they were supposed to be together in the first place.
No,
I thought that was at the party.
It was at the party. So
Yes.
So it happened afterwards.
It's because the cameraman likes Cheesemate and he likes to gossip, and like everybody knew that they liked each other.
Yeah.
Because the friend group, like it's obvious whenever 2 people in the friend group like each other. So and they acted like there was nothing going on between them. So whenever oh my god, they actually slept together. Guess who's going to be the one spilling the tea?
Mm-hmm.
The cameraman was just insensitive all around. Like, remember that flaming hobo? That guy was setting people on fire in the train somewhere. They're like, dude, shut up. It's like, yeah, oh, sorry. But could you just imagine? It's like, not now.
I mean, it was Seth Rogen.
No, it wasn't. That wasn't Seth Rogen.
It was T.J. Miller.
Whatever. He's basically Seth Rogen.
Yeah, he kind of reminded me like
TJ Miller
of a
is
Seth
so much
Rogen type,
better.
but a different actor completely.
TJ Miller is
So-
so much better than fucking Seth Rogen. In my opinion, I love.
If it makes you feel better, I don't like either of them as comedians.
Anyway, yeah, you two, maybe the housekeeper. Between you three, we're on the conversation for Cloverfield. I know housekeeper is the one who chose Cloverfield. On top of that,
I know I'm the one who chose Cloverfield, but we need to pick someone who doesn't talk as much.
so we can do. Okay, so here's how we're gonna work it, right?
But I can help with the plot if need be.
Right. Conversation led by Mad Chairman and Bunyip. Housekeeper pops in whenever. And in Shen Godzilla, we could have me and Kaiju Groupie, or if you rather do the plot for Shin Godzilla Housekeeper with Kaiju Groupie, that's fine too, because I'm gonna have a whole thing, a whole rant on Shin Godzilla after the plot. I'm supplying half the goddamn episode.
My only, I don't know if it's an issue, maybe it's a nitpick with Shin Godzilla was when it first shows up and its eyes don't look
It's
threatening
googly
at all.
eyes.
I'm
Leave
like,
him
that,
alone.
that can't be Shin Godzilla. And then
Okay,
he gets up and it's
I
like,
have to
that is
agree.
him. And then he changes. I'm like, oh, now he looks threatening.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
let's
the
not forget
googly
those
eye.
fishy eyes.
I mean, the googly eyes are hilarious, but at the same time, I think it adds a level of eeriness to it because he doesn't blink and his eyes are just a blank stare. It kind of makes him off-putting.
I guess if they looked more like fish eyes that weren't so
And the big thing is
harmless.
dragging along the floor as his gills are bleeding out because he can't breathe.
The thing I thought was they were gonna do was they were gonna say like that Godzilla was like infected by like an alien thing and that's why he's different. But no, it's just Godzilla. That's him. That's why he's he's just different. So I don't know.
There's more to that Godzilla than you think. But
Okay.
that's my
We'll get to
job.
But that violet ray of devastation.
I love his ray. I love
That was
his
beautiful.
atomic ray. It's gorgeous. It's the best ray and the best Godzilla. In my personal opinion. It's my favorite. With the new American Godzilla coming right after it. And maybe Godzilla -1, we won't know until I watch it. Because that one looks good.
I have a feeling that one is going to be very similar to the original, like Gojira. So it's going to be very fire, like actually like fiery and less beamy.
And on that note, hi, welcome to Spookocalypse. I am one of your hosts, Zio. And today I'm joined with the peeps, Bunyip, Matt Chairman, Housekeeper, and of course, again, we're joined by Kaiju Groupie, aka the co-host, or one of the hosts from the Book Watchers. Woo! Claps. Add clap sound. Woo!
Yo.
I don't know if that actually gets recorded. I still don't know because I'm like, I don't think it does, but it's funny if it doesn't. Because
Other than a golf clap. Like
right, I'll add something in there.
Yeah, just add.
I'll add it. I'll add it. Production value.
If it doesn't get put in.
It'll just be like a cheek clap and then layered multiple times to sound like applause.
Oh my god!
Put in that studio audience laugh.
Oh, don't tempt me. I'll fucking do it.
Make your booty feet claps.
So before we get into more of Kaiju Madness, oh my god, that should be the name of the month, Kaiju Madness. Damn, why didn't I think of that earlier? Housekeeper, take it away.
If you like this podcast, make sure you follow and rate us on whatever site you listen to your podcast. Oh, hold on, give me a minute. I wasn't looking at my script. Share with your friends. New episodes get uploaded every Wednesday. Saturday. Sorry, I
Saturday.
the
Wow.
wrong game of the wrong thing. Links are down in the description for other podcasts. Yeah, Wednesday is avoid.
Yeah.
Links are down in the description for other podcasts that are part of the Neonic family. Follow us on Twitter. Our handle is at Spookocalypse. That's at SPOOKOCALYPSE. We are also on YouTube. If you are from YouTube, hi, hello, welcome. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, drop a comment. What do you want us to cover next? Let us know. We're gonna be doing some spooky shit, and Mints will be on the pillow.
Yes. Today's favorite mint is oh god, what flavor slushy was that thing? Was that company? There's a company throughout Cloverfield's
Oh.
marketing. It's a I don't know if they ever gave it a flavor, but seafloor. There you go, seafloor, because the
Mhm.
slushy is from the seafloor. Some material from the seafloor. Bada bing.
Wow.
So if you haven't guessed, ladies and gents, we're doing the first Cloverfield today. We're gonna learn about Clover.
And the fields it runs through.
If you didn't know, the creature's name is Clover, FYI.
No,
Like
it's
did its
not.
parents name
Yes,
it,
it
or was it
is.
more like a name designated by the
No,
people?
but that's the name given to the monster Clover
But from who?
from J.J. Abrams.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not
They named him
creative.
Clover.
It'd be
That's
fine if it
silly.
was a nickname, but like give it a species name or a scientific name, so then it'll be like, oh.
Well, it's a
Real.
code name like Godzilla. It's just a name given by whatever. So they named him Clover, or it
And-
Clover.
But
Let's be
Godzilla
fair-
or Gojira
let's-
sound awesome.
Yeah, but let's be fair. Clover, it's not as weird because Gojira is derived from two Japanese words. So, like, when you put them together, it literally means gorilla well.
I mean, that's most Japanese names, though.
True.
Like, for example, Ichigo could either mean strawberry or number one guardian, depending on how it's spelled.
But yeah, Clover. We're learning this today about the baby Clover. Baby? What? Who said that?
You did.
I did. If you remember in the past episodes, ladies and gents, and whoever's listening, we did the Clover Paradox a while back. And at the very end of the Clover Paradox, spoiler alert, you see a very large version of this creature that's in this movie, which gives the idea that the creature in this movie was a baby. I'm only saying this now because we already talked about Cloverfield Paradox a long time ago. So that's already been, yeah, we did. We did a whole episode on it.
Not
You didn't.
that's
You
what I'm-
didn't, but we all did. The rest of us did.
I wasn't here for that.
No, you weren't. You wouldn't have liked Paradox anyway. I liked it more than most people. It was a shit show, apparently.
It was bad. It was terrible.
I didn't mind it.
Don't
It wasn't
watch
that bad. I say watch it. Watch it once on Netflix.
Don't do it. It's a waste
Do
of
it.
time.
All I'll say about those other two movies was that they're trying to do something that branches away from the Cloverfield monster, but they should just go back and just
Whoa.
make the movie centered.
Whoa. Don't be dragging 21 Cloverfield Lane. That movie's bomb. That movie's
I will
lit.
drag.
Tell me about it. I haven't watched it yet. Me and Matt.
I'm not gonna spoil it. All I will say is that I will drag whatever the fuck I want, however which way I can.
So wait, hold on, because I gotta confirm this. Is that part of the Cloverfield? Like,
Yes.
It is. It
Oh.
is.
Knew it. I knew it. He was like, "No, it's not," and I was like,
Yes,
"Yes,
it
the fuck
is.
It is. Like,
It is.
It's like
is.
it's just coincidentally named.
No. It's part of the
Wait, who said?
Cloverfield franchise. Paradox
Oh my
explains
God.
how
It's not part of the franchise.
it is. And it is honestly, it's the best one out of the three. Saying that right now. I will say that to the day I die. Because Cloverfield, the first one's good, but the second one is so much better. And Paradox will explain how the first and second one are connected in a very
Stupid.
abstract way. Not stupid. I will stand by this franchise till the day I die. Did you? Oh, we'll also get into, there are a bunch of other films that were made, released into theaters that originally were supposed to be part of the Cloverfield franchise, but were decided not to. But I will name those films after we talk about it. After we talk about the first Cloverfield. There's a bunch of films that got released that were supposedly part of the Cloverfield franchise. And y'all gonna be surprised which ones. Bet. But anyway, Cloverfield 2008, American found footage horror. Yay, I love found footage. I don't know about y'all, but I love found footage.
Yep.
It has its moments.
Like,
Yeah, I'm with Kaiju. Like sometimes it can be good. Other times, like if you have motion sickness, you're not gonna like this.
Well, not only that, but like some of the dialogue was kind of like cheesy as all. But I still
wow.
like the movie.
Wow. Wow.
So in this episode of Spookocalypse, we will be spending most of the episode triggering Zio.
Wow. Wow. No taste in this room. Kidding.
No, I'm just saying that some of the dialogue could have been written better. I still love the movie.
I mean, it's a product of its time, kind of, in some ways. Especially the dialogue is a very product of its time. But I still think the movie holds up to this day. Overall.
I
Overall.
think it was so great.
So good. And eventually we will do 21 Cloverfield Lane at some point, but that needs to go to streaming first. Anyway.
Okay, so let's start off. Cloverfield was released January 18th, 2008. Directed by Matt Reeves. Written by Drew Goddard. Produced by Brian Burke and J.J. Abrams.
Yes.
And starring Lizzie Kaplan, Jessica Lucas, T.J. Miller, Michael Stahl-David, Michael Vogel, and Odette Yutzman. Yeah. Had a budget of this is an estimate from $25 to $30 million, and it made about $172 million in the box office.
Yes, it sure did. It made bank.
Yeah. It actually had a pretty interesting. I remember the marketing kind of thing that they did with it, like the kind of website. I don't know if anyone else did that when this movie came out. It was like a website that you thought you had to do like some like decoding whatever thing, but it wasn't. You literally just had to move a window over and you could watch a trailer to the movie, and it was pretty fun. Yeah, we'll get into later on how the alternative reality kind of marketing kind of thing went a little further with this whole series, but
the marketing for this franchise is honestly top tier.
It is.
It's so good.
For the people that know about it.
Yeah. Who was ever in charge of the marketing team, y'all should get a raise and get promoted.
Yeah. Sorry, 1 second. I'm pulling up the thing. Okay. So this is a found footage movie. It kind of intercuts between it's being recorded over some tape footage of the main character. What is his name? Jason? No, not Jason. Rob.
Rob. Yes, Rob.
Oh crap! Hold on. Why is this? Okay, here we go. Yeah. Rob is basically like the main character. It's his camera, I believe. And it's being intercut between kind of like a day that he spends with his girlfriend, Beth. Before he goes off to his work trip. The other side of the kind of what's being recorded over in the main part of the movie is starts off with a party, going away party for Rob. He gets a job in Tokyo and is gonna head there. What's the name of the company? Does anyone remember?
The name of the company is, oh God. Oh shit! Hold up. I'm gonna look it up.
Looking. It doesn't really matter. I'm sure we'll talk about the company later, anyways. But
We just know it's in Japan.
yes,
It is Tagrudo? Tagruato?
it doesn't sound familiar.
Or Slusho was also
Slusho.
Slusho.
Yeah,
Is a
yeah.
branch off it, yeah. It's a drink, it's a soft drink company.
I think we actually did briefly go into some of that in like one of our like when we just talked about it, or
When we went into Paradox, I think we kind of did, yeah.
yeah, maybe Paradox. It was when we
Are you sure it's called Slusho? Because what I'm reading is that the project had several working titles, including Slusho,
Yeah.
and Gray Shot. Not what his.
I think Slusho was like the American portion of that Japanese company.
So the Japanese company itself is the one I named before, but they own a bunch of side companies underneath them, and Slusho being one of them. And it's a soft drink company, but but the main business is deep sea oil drilling.
How are those related?
And I think that they mentioned the Japanese company itself. Let me post the name of the little thingy so everyone can see it. The Tagrudo. That is the
Tagarado?
No, because you're
Tagurado.
Tagruato.
But that's the actual Japanese company that in this world, but they own several other little lower subsidiaries, and Slusho is the soft drink company, but it's also a big part of the viral marketing for this movie.
Yeah.
Now I think they mentioned Slusho once because I think they mentioned the company, and there was like an offline where it's like, wait, isn't that the same company that owns Slusho? Something along those lines.
Yeah. In the movie, right? You're talking about?
Yeah, in the movie, which is weird when you really think about a deep sea oil drilling company had a soft drink company that's somehow connected to turning materials from the deep sea into slushies and soft drinks. It's weird.
Zio, this is coming, dude. In this world, in our world, there is a tire company that gives out stars to chefs if the food is good.
What?
Oh, yeah, the Michelin stars.
The Michelin stars are from the Michelin Tire Company.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yes, I was like,
I always
is it
thought
the
they were
same? It's like,
different
yes, it's the
things.
same.
No,
I didn't.
and it was literally like a marketing ploy for Michelin tires to be sold more. And now it's like this huge esteemed thing. So like if you have a Michelin star, you are one of the best chefs in the world. And the more Michelin stars you have, the better of a chef you are.
Interesting.
That's funny. I never knew that.
The more you know.
Yes. So basically, you're getting a view of the party from the. I guess they hired a guy to record the party for them.
I think it's Rob's brother who's recording, and then he passes it off to HUD.
Yeah, HUD. Oh, wait, HUD's just a friend, or is...
Yes.
Yeah, HUD is Rob's best friend.
Okay. Okay. So basically, to get into the little drama of it, this party is taking place weeks after the kind of previous footage that's being recorded over kind of takes place. So apparently Rob and Beth are no longer together, and Beth shows up to his going away party with another guy. And so this causes like a whole thing that HUD kind of goes around and starts gossiping with around the whole party, talking about how they slept together and how she's there with another guy now, and just talking crap. There are like moments where they kind of like get glimpses of the news that's getting shown. I believe that there's like a mention of like a deep sea like a explosion that happened off the coast of New York, if I'm not mistaken. But it's yeah, that comes into play later. Anyways,
Oh yeah, the news anchor is like, there's an earthquake and an oil tanker has capsized,
mhm, mhm.
and then there's like an explosion and people are up on the roof observing the explosion, and then the debris flies towards them. And they're like, "Oh shit, run!"
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it nearly hits them. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh wow, that debris flew far."
Yeah, they kind of run back downstairs, and then they go. I think they go all the way downstairs to the streets.
Yep, they have to evacuate the building.
Yeah. And basically, everyone in New York is kind of going crazy. The streets are getting filled, and they oh, like I guess the only part that we kind of skipped over was the fact that Beth got into an argument with Rob, and so she left the party early, like right before the explosion happened.
Yeah, and then Hud is distracted by his crush that he awkwardly tries to converse with.
Yeah, what was her, Marlena?
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh, what was her thing? She didn't even know anyone there at the party, or like
She didn't know, like, she only knew the dude, like, she met him like a few times. She was only there for like one person,
yeah,
and she was only there to say hi to her and then like leave.
yeah. But yeah, she ends up
Poor
getting
Marlena.
dragged along. Um, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, they get down to the streets, and kind of like the power's going off, and there's like a kind of like a explode, not explosion, kind of the ground shakes. Everyone kind of jumps, and there is an explosion, and then comes like debris, more flying debris, and turns out that a big giant head that turns out to be the Statue of Liberty's head comes flying through the sky. So they're trying to what is it? Rob is trying to find his phone. Oh, he needs to charge his phone. That's what it was. He didn't bring his charger and he's dead. So they have to go to uh, a store, electronics store, and so they in the middle of this chaos, they go in while it's getting looted. They're trying to find a cable for his phone to charge it, and so he ends up getting a cable. He finds it, and I think they have a couple news things that happen there too, right? Or is that where we kind of hear about the? Oh no, that's where we get the first glimpse of the monster, right? Like
Yeah.
the kind
yeah,
of
a little glimpse.
overshot of it.
And then there's news going on inside the electronics store on some of the TVs.
Mm-hmm. And they kind of like, oh wow, that's like really close by, or like they kind of can recognize where the footage is getting taken place, and they feel like the impact crater, like shockwaves of the monster, I guess, coming towards them. And the streets get filled with smoke or debris and smoke and whatever. And so they have to kind of hang out into the store while they figure out what they're going to do next. And I think he ends up getting voicemails as his phone charges while they're waiting from Beth, who said that she was trapped, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In her apartment, or in her apartment. So it's basically the grouping right now is Rob, Hud, Marlena, Oh, Jason, his brother, right? And then Lily, his Jason's girlfriend.
Yes.
So they have to get across the bridge to get to Beth's apartment, I guess. But obviously they can't drive. Even with New York traffic already being as crazy it is, with all this chaos going, it's just no way they're driving. Everyone's walking across the bridge, and this is the part where it's like, oh man, this is where they could have done a sequel. They could have gone a different sequel, kind of like Kaiju Groupie was saying earlier that they could have gone a different route where there's a different person. They get a glimpse of a different person taking video footage. Just sequel of this whole thing happening from a different perspective. That would have been freaking awesome. But nope, it's fine. Whatever. Anyways, they're on the bridge as they're trying to cross. The military's kind of guiding this whole thing along. And they get separated because everyone's kind of pushing and shoving each other, getting across the bridge. And Jason gets shoved ahead, way further ahead than everyone. And he kind of stands up on the railing so he can get a view of where everyone's at. And as he does this, light shines on him, and then water starts dripping down. He looks up, and all of a sudden, there's the monster's arm, and it comes down, and he ends up dying. The monster takes out the bridge, and Jason along with it. Everyone is able to kind of get back across the bridge, and or maybe they do get across because they are able to.
No, they weren't. They had to go back.
Okay, yeah, to go through the train, right? The train station.
They run away and they go into the train station and they stay there for a few minutes. Or for
So
a
good while,
I should say.
So when they came back across the across the bridge, that's actually when they go into the electronics store to get a charger, so they can try to at least get a hold of Beth.
Oh, okay.
And that's when they see the news broadcast of the monster itself, and that's when he gets that voicemail from Beth, and they decide to make their way towards her apartment. And when they do this, the military, they come across a huge confrontation between the military and the creature.
Mm-hmm.
And because of this, they're forced to go into the subway.
Yeah, and then there's those little things that are falling off the creature, and it's kind of reminiscent of the opening of Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, it's Sin and his little sinlets, or whatever they're called.
Sinlets.
They're pieces of sin, yeah.
Fuck? Those things were so creepy. I've never seen the sinlets, but the things coming off the Cloverfield monster, those things were creepy.
Yes, they are.
Little parasites.
And
it doesn't help that they make this
bullets
weird little
don't
sound.
help.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're shooting it as hard as they can.
Shooting doesn't help, and they make that little blah, 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 blah sound.
Yeah.
I'm just like, ugh.
Sorry, I'm doing all this off of memory and while I was playing Diablo. Okay, let's see. Get back on track. Right, so. And this is not a long movie.
Well, the plot isn't very thick.
Yeah,
it's very surface level.
Yeah.
Okay, bad
monster.
Okay, so yeah, once they get forced down to the tunnels, they're going through the dark tunnels, trying to find the next stop where they can go up onto the streets and find their way to Beth's apartment.
And then they find a bunch of rats running the fuck away, and they're like, "What? Yeah. Why are they running away? Hello?"
Wait, is this in the tunnel where it's all dark?
Yeah.
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 Oh, I thought we skipped that. Okay, we're on the right track.
Yeah.
And they're on the right track.
Or are they? Because I believe this is where Marlene gets. Oh no, not yet. Right? Marlene doesn't get bit yet.
Yes, she does.
I mean, yes, she does.
Th- th-
She gets
Here.
attacked. Or they get attacked.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
The
They get attacked by
camera.
the Simlets.
Parasite things.
We don't have to call them Sinlets. We can call
Well,
them.
they're basically parasites from the Cloverfield monsters. So.
If the monster's name is Clover, can they be Clover Leafs?
Clover leaves. Yes, the little
That's
the little clover leaves.
Yes.
Clover leaves.
Okay, so they were actually attacking HUD, the camera guy, the main
Yeah.
camera guy, and Marlena is actually saves him, but then she gets bitten by one of them.
Oh, yeah.
So, but they're able to get out of there, yeah, into the mall.
But that reveal where it's like either their flashlight isn't working or they're like turn the night vision on in the camera, and as soon as he does, they're crawling along the ceiling,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, oh my god, we need to run.
Yeah.
And then yes, hell breaks loose.
Then they find against the mall, find a field hospital.
Yeah,
like-
and, she's not feeling well, Marlene. She's
She's,
holding her
bleeding
stomach
from
and-
her eyes and shit.
Yeah.
They're like, we got one who's bit.
yeah, they run into the army there who has like a aid
Makeshift.
station, yeah,
It's like-
going on.
a big infirmary / quarantine zone.
Mhm.
And she
And-
just
Yeah, they pull her behind a sheet, but there's like a silhouette. You can see the silhouette of what's going on, and she literally just pops like a balloon. Like
I was about to say that. She pops like a fucking balloon, pops like a zit.
She was like spontaneous.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that scene was traumatizing. Just like you actually see a corpse of a soldier with his
Yeah.
like completely disemboweled. Like you see like the result of a bite.
I have a theory on what causes that, which I will get to. Put a pin in that, y'all. Put a pin in that. Anyway, continue. Because they don't explain what causes that, but I have a theory with the information I know in my noggin.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
so
Plus
they
show,
get
yo.
they get pulled away after that happens by one of the soldiers.
Mhm.
Who tells them that there's going to be a exit helicopter exiting the area if they want to try to go get their friend, but it's leaving whether or not they're there or not. So it gives them the time to get there, to be there by, and sends them off. They kind of fast forward to getting to the building, but when they get to the building, they realize the apartment building is it's not the one collapsed. Okay, it's standing up, but it's the building
Leaning.
next to it. It's leaning over
Yeah.
onto it, and they're giant buildings, like I don't know, 30, 40 floors, something like that.
Yeah.
So how does it work? They have to go across the broken building.
No.
Yes.
Well, no, they climb up the standing building.
Yes. And then
So-
they have to climb into the window
Oh.
that's crashed into that building.
Cause she's in the broken building.
They
Yes.
go up to
Okay.
high enough to where they can go onto the roof
Yeah.
of the broken building and then climb down
her way
to
down.
her apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do end up finding her. She's trapped underneath some like a
Bubble.
bookshelf that fell on top of her or
Mhm.
something.
She
And some rebar, right? She had some rebar
Yeah.
through her.
yeah, she when the building collapsed, she got impaled.
She did.
Eek.
Not in the fun way.
I'm surprised this bitch
Ugh.
survived.
Not the fun way, no. So yeah, they pull her off the pole.
That
and-
must have been fun. Felt so good.
I hate it here. So as they're getting her down there, they look outside, and the monster's literally coming right towards them.
Yeah.
So basically, they're able to get out of the building in time, as it's basically coming down, and they kind of do a little quick jump again to they are able to get to the evac area, and the helicopter's there,
They
and Lily.
proclaim their love as the bombs explode around them.
Yeah, Lily is the first one. Is the first one taken because I guess they had a group already, and so she gets taken up in the first helicopter. Everyone else waits, and yeah, that's when what's his name? What are their names?
Robin.
Beth
Beth,
have their little
Hud.
love thing.
They get into the helicopter and then it gets shot down.
Yeah. No, it didn't get shot down. So they're watching as the monster's getting like shot at, and then the smoke is there, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, do we get him?" And they're hovering over the smoke, super close, and then the stupid monster jumps up and then bites the helicopter, and it goes in a tailspin, and they somehow survive.
Well, yeah, they survive.
Yeah, they land in Central Park. Robin and Beth somehow survive.
That scene where the monster just jumps out of the smoke, that made me jump so hard when I first saw it.
Same.
Yeah. Same. Oh no, Hud survives too.
God.
Yeah.
Hud survives for a while.
For a minute.
Like 2 seconds.
Yeah. So they're getting ready to run away as Hud's kind of standing there, and then is it Rob and Beth? They're just walking ahead. They turn around. They're like, Hud? And then he turns around, looks up, and he's just standing there looking down at him. And it just eats him.
I would just been like, well, fuck.
Well, there's okay, so if you watch carefully, when it bites him, you may think that it just like grabs him, chomps down, and then drops him. No, it literally bites him in half.
Yeah, bites
you could see so you could see his legs were still in his mouth as the camera was falling, and when it falls, you see like his face.
Or so, yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, so he
chomped in half.
He got 8.
Yeah.
At least his lower half did.
Yeah, not in a good way.
No. No.
Was not fun for anyone.
Don't make me use my imagination for your euphemisms.
I mean, Kaiju Groupie said it earlier. She got impaled not in a good way, so I might as well keep the tradition. So little half got 8.
So then they hide under the bridge, not in the good way.
What? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, isn't it called the Clover Bridge?
Yeah.
Or
no way.
Something?
Yeah. I think it's called the Clover Bridge.
No fucking way. I don't believe it.
The Cloverfield, the Cloverfield Bridge, 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh my god.
There's something in Paradox I'm not going to say that has the name Cloverfield. So Cloverfield's a name that reoccurs throughout all the movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, so they're bringing down the hammer down protocol that they mentioned earlier. The fact that they're gonna basically just firebomb the monster. So anyways, they hear sirens blaring as Rob and Beth are running through Central Park. They find like a tunnel or something to hide under, a bridge or something, as they record their farewell message to whoever is going to find the footage. And they're also cutting back and forth between that and their date from weeks before.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they're on Coney Island.
I want to point something out.
But,
and so in the scene where when at this end scene when they're both under the bridge and like Rob says his final words to the camera, and then the footage cuts off and it goes back to the to their date on Coney Island. If you watch closely, like the camera is like pointing towards the ocean.
Yeah.
And you can see boat out in the distance. Well, it's very hard to see, but you do see something.
A comment or
Yeah,
Like
don't say what, because it deals with one of the other movies. Don't say what, because
Maybe
you
we can-
find out exactly what that is later.
But a thing.
A thing.
Something that is important later that I love that they reference back to.
Let Kaiju Groupie finish.
Like, God damn it, we all know, okay?
I know, but I want to make sure that you don't say it because there's somebody in here that has not watched the movie and I don't want them to go off.
God damn it, go watch the movie.
I'm going to. God damn it! Just give me a minute.
Like, there are so many spoilers here. This is not a safe space.
Okay, I'll leave.
No,
I'm kidding.
no,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
but that's important later, y'all. Go listen to the Paradox episode.
So anyway,
Continue.
I'm done.
Yeah. And then, of course, at the very end, they're saying, help us. When playing in reverse, it says it's still alive. Dun, dun, dun.
And I never watched past the credits. And that's my review of this movie.
Damn.
you do hear the monster growling too.
Yeah. So, without getting into the sequels, because I really want to, but I can't, and I'm not going to. Film. So the Cloverfield, the Cloververse, as it's called, or as some people call it. I don't know if that's actually called the Cloververse, but I know they call it it's Cloverfield franchise. It spans over currently 3 movies: Cloverfield, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and the Cloverfield Paradox. When you watch Cloverfield and 10 Cloverfield Lane, they have nothing to do with each other outside of certain big things that I said earlier. A particular company is referenced throughout the whole goddamn hip hop shebang. But it's always background stuff. And then actors are sometimes reused also, or mentioned. The first 2 had nothing to do with each other, as you think anyway, and then the Paradox explains everything. Now, there were other films that were originally pitched and or made to be part of the Cloverfield verse. One of them being A Quiet Place. Originally was pitched to be part of the Cloverfield.
That makes
universe.
sense.
That makes
That's
sense.
kind of my
Wow.
It makes more sense once you watch Cloverfield Paradox on what's going on. It makes more sense with that. But yeah, Quiet Place was originally supposed to be part of that Cloverfield universe as it was pitched.
But
Paramount,
why wasn't it though? That makes so much sense.
for whatever reason, Paramount said no. So they just did it on its own thing.
Paramount, you're wrong.
Another one was Overlord. Overlord was a 2018 film that was an alternative history action horror film that was about zombies during World War II. Zombies? Were they zombies? Zombies. Right?
Yes.
They were not exactly.
They're kind of like some superpower
They were
monsters.
They were like an attempt at like creating like a super soldier.
Yeah.
But oh god, there's a scene in that movie that got me fucked up.
Yeah, it's a real good movie. Go watch it. I'm sure we'll review it at some point in time in the future. But that one was also supposed to be originally during the production of the film it was going to be the 4th film. But last minute, Abrams decided, have this be a standalone. Another one. And this one is more recent as of 2019. And this one shook me because it makes sense and I would love for it to be so. And apparently in the film, there was supposed to be a reference to the Cloverfield franchise. But they for whatever reason took it out and never did get as such. Underwater.
What?
That makes sense too.
Underwater. So apparently October 2019 rewind. TJ Miller, of course, stars in Underwater. He made an Instagram post saying that this film, the Underwater, is going to reference, have connections to the Cloververse, which would make sense with the underwater drilling and shit. But supposedly it's supposed to have a reference to it, but they, for whatever reason, they took it out or didn't do it.
Or they did, we just didn't notice.
No, they didn't have. They took it out of the film. It wasn't in the film, right? So
Bitches.
the version that was released had no connection to the Cloverfield universe, and that makes me upset because it fits so well. Now, Slush Show. Let's go back to Slush Show a little bit. And that company. That company does deep sea drilling, right? And they gather a material known as deep sea. Is it deep sea nectar? Oh shit! Where'd it go? I had it. Yeah. Seabed's nectar.
Seabed nectar, yeah.
Seabed's nectar is a secret ingredient in Slusho. Now, what is Seabed's nectar? Seabed's nectar is a raw material on the ocean floor that causes a very weird effects. The Cloverfield monster, as well as its parasites, those little ones, their blood is full of the seabed nectar. My theory, when the parasites bite you and that explosion happens, is because the high levels of the seabed nectar. Now, Slusho and the company takes the seabed nectar and puts it in their soft drinks. It's highly addictive in low quantities. Because the slogan for Slusho is Slusho, drink just 6. Because it's so addictive because of the seabed nectar inside of it. And if you eat too much or devour too much of the raw material, the raw form of sea nectar, it will kill you in a very horrific way. So that's my theory on why when they get bit by the parasites, because their blood's full of that shit, or their bodies are full of that shit, they explode.
That's just fucked up. Like,
And it makes perfect sense for underwater. It would be cool for underwater to be that company.
Shit.
Huh?
There's explosions and shit because of the things that are down there.
Exactly. So it would have been so good if that company they were working for in underwater was the same company that owns Slusho, was the oil drilling company, deep sea oil drilling company. And then they were drilling for sea nectar and whatever else they were doing now. That company's doing down there. They're doing some real shady shit down there. And it's kind of referenced throughout the whole marketing campaigns of all 3 films and shit. And it would explain the exploding people when they get attacked by the deep ones, and then of course Cthulhu and shit. And the whatever happened in Paradox and shit would also explain everything with that. And it ties everything together. It would fit. Underwater would fit that.
I guess.
World. Because Cloverfield's more than just kaijus. I can't get into it. Go listen back to the Clover Paradox episode. I'm sure I go all into that on how I did. And I got real excited because I like the lore that Paradox gave. The film was okay at best, but the lore it gave, I ate good that day. So rating systems. 1 out of 5 Slusho drinks. What do y'all rate this movie?
If based on the movie alone, with no awareness of the lore, I kind of give it a 2.
What?
Damn.
I did not find it that interesting personally. Just me.
Damn. Okay. That's fair. Fair opinion.
Yeah. But with knowing the lore now, 2.5. It makes it more interesting. Like, oh, there's other stuff. It's sort of like you watch this movie and you're not impressed, and then you watch the other movies and get the lore, and then you come back to this one and you're like, oh, it's starting to make sense now, but only more, like only slightly more.
Okay. So 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5. But I think most of it was just because like it spends a lot of time trying to. I do not know how to put this, but it's focusing on just the people running away, and it's like, okay, we got to get to Beth, and God, I can't even freaking put my thoughts in order. Hilariously enough,
it didn't catch your interest because there wasn't other than going to run away and try and find.
Yeah, I guess you can sum it up as like I didn't find the characters all that interesting, but at least I understood what their motivations were.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have maybe put it a little lower.
Okay.
Hmm.
We'll go down the order of the recording that's at. So for me, I will give it a 3 out of 5 slushes. It's good. It's pretty good. It's not like, oh my God, yes, Queen work, drop the gods, but it's pretty good. It's a fun watch. It's decent. In my opinion, I think it's pretty rewatchable. But I also love the found footage craze that happened in the early 2000s, and the found footage as a genre, I absolutely love. So the fact that they released a monster movie or a kaiju film with that in mind is just. But yeah, I would rate it a 3 out of 5 slushes. 21 Cloverfield Lane is the best of the franchise, and that would gotten a higher score, which I really do hope they add that to a streaming service someday because that movie slaps.
You mean
Anyway,
10
yeah, 3 out of
Cloverfield
5. It's out what?
I think it's on Amazon or Hulu. Because like me and Matt were.
Last I checked, it was not on anything at the moment. But go on. Next up, housekeeper? What do you give this movie?
I was gonna give it like a 3.5. I'll just say 3.
3.
Yeah. I liked it. It was the exact same movie that I remember whenever I watched it the first time way back in the day. I think it holds up. I don't like some of the dialogue. Like some of it was just really cringy. Like who talks like that?
That's fair.
That's not
Adults
how
who
people talk.
think that this is how young people talk in 2008.
They're not even young people. They're like 20-year-olds.
Young adults.
Okay, yeah, fair. They talk more like high schoolers who are socially inept.
Yes. I think I wanted to try and say that earlier, but that's a better way to word it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A more polite way of wording it, because the way that my boyfriend would word it is kind of he'd get canceled. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
I mean, and like I that's probably one of the only complaints I have is that no one in their early 20s, like 20s, like just 20s in general, 20 to 30 years old, they don't talk like that. Even in the 2000s, early 2000s, the 20-year-olds from age 20 to age 30, they don't talk like that. But other than that, yeah, I loved the seeing the monster Clover, which I think it's really funny that it's named Clover now. That
Right.
makes me love it even more. Seeing I forgot about the tunnel monsters. So whenever I saw it, I was like, "Oh shit! Oh shit!"
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
fuck.
probably my favorite scene where the reveal with night vision.
Oh yeah, dude, that was like the best part of the whole movie. Not gonna lie. Like,
And they're freaking out. They get the crowbar to open up that water vending machine to like pour water on the wound. I'm like, those wounds look pretty big. I don't know if water's gonna help that much.
and then I get the type of comedic relief they were trying to do with TJ Miller's character, but I know people who talk like that in real life. No one likes those people. Like, no joke. There's someone at the game shop that we meet up at that talks like that, and no one likes this person. Unfortunately, like he's a cool dude and everything like that, but God, like the way that this person talks, like TJ Miller reminded me of that person, and I was like, oh my God, he talks like Chuckles.
Huh.
I don't know if you know who Chuckles is, Zio or Kaiju.
I do not.
Okay. But yeah, he talks like Chuckles. And I'm like, ugh, okay.
Are you
I'm
talking about like Chuckles from a movie or?
No, Chuckles is the nickname of somebody that goes to the game store.
Oh.
Yeah. Which I'm nice to them whenever they show up. You know, like
I'll take that. I'll take this part out just in case, because you never know.
Yeah, I am nice to them though. But like, yeah, I don't. Nobody talks like that. But yeah, you could take out that part where it's just like, yeah, I don't like. Keep this part in. The way that T.J. Miller's character talks is not funny. It's not, which loses points in my book. I love T.J. Miller though. Love him. I like him in a lot of his other movies. So yeah, 3. I'll stick with a 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm next, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was
Yep.
just about to
Okay.
say, yeah, Chairman.
Let's see. Yeah, if I'm really thinking about how I felt about this movie, none of the characters were really that interesting. Even like the main drama of the movie, the relationship between Beth and Rob wasn't didn't really care. The only thing that really interested me were the monster parts, and I actually loved every part that it showed up in and that they interacted with all the little fish and frap and stuff. It was fun. I feel like they could have done a lot more with the whole found footage aspect of it with the big monster movie like this, and they didn't. So that was kind of disappointing. But it's still a movie I go back and watch every once in a while just because it's still fun to watch, but it's not that great of a movie. So I'll probably have to give it probably around the same 3 out of 5 slushies.
Slushos. Yeah.
Slushos.
A 3.
Yeah, 3.
God.
Got 2.5 and 3 threes. Kaiju Groupie?
So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. I like it for what it is. If I'm not called Kaiju Groupie for no reason. I do love giant monster movies, creature features in general. I especially love it when the creature is very unrecognizable. Like it doesn't have any features that you can compare it with other like real creatures and animals. I appreciate it when it's just so very unrecognizable. I also didn't care much for the dialogue or the character dynamics. Honestly, Hud, he came across as a bit of a creep to me, especially when it came to like his thing for Marlena. Like he was very like I get it. He had a thing for Marlena, but you could tell how uncomfortable she was and like just not interested whenever he tried to interact with her. Though I love how the sass she will give him sometimes, especially in the tunnels where like she makes a reference to Superman and he's like, "Wait, you know who Superman is?" And she stops and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm feeling something right now. Are you aware of Garfield?"
I completely
Like-
forgot about that scene.
Yeah.
Like I
say
just
no.
love. Yeah, I love the clapback, but at the same time, it's just like, dude, I love these. Huh?
He's a
Go ahead.
nerd. He's a nerd, bro, who thinks that women can't have the same interests that nerd bros have.
Yeah.
That's basically like the air that he gave me.
Yeah, where he's like, yeah, like when he asked, "Do you know who Superman is?" I'm like, everybody knows who
Everybody knows
Superman
who
is.
Superman
Like,
is.
like if she mentioned a more obscure superhero character, then maybe the question might have some merit.
Yeah, but this is Superman. He's been around since the 50s, and he's like
Yeah.
extremely
Exactly.
mainstream.
Everybody in America knows Superman. Maybe
Like-
everybody in the world knows who Superman is.
Like if I mentioned Squirrel Girl and then someone else talked about Squirrel Girl, I'm like, oh my god, you know who Squirrel Girl is?
Yes.
Because she's
Yeah,
not
the most
she's not a very like highly known superhero. Unless
Mhm.
like, you know, you're really into that kind of shit. But like if you mention Squirrel Girl in passing, they'll be like, that sounds like a fake name. I don't believe you.
Mhm.
But Superman? Anyway,
yeah,
Kaiju Groupie.
yeah. When it comes to like these kind of creature features, giant monster movies, I like it a lot better when they go into like trying to solve like what the hell this thing is. And it's even I like it even better when like they just kind of throw it in like with like they kind of just figure it out as they go. Like, okay, we get some of that with this story, like, you know, the oil tanker, explosions on the seafloor, then the explosion in the harbor, and then of course like with the parasites, the clover leaves, with the little clover leaves, they you know, when they bite Marlena and she dies, it's like, oh, okay, so that's bad. Okay, that's bad. Don't get bit. Do not get bit.
I wish they showed more bite victims though.
Right.
True. That would have been,
Really
it would have
fun.
made it way more way more interesting, and maybe like, you know, they had several interactions with the military. Maybe they could have like revealed more about the creature, like its origin, its like
I don't think the military knew where the fuck it came from. They were
oh,
just trying to figure it out
Uh,
themselves.
Oh, I can't.
or they
Oh,
could.
In this
I want
movie.
to. I want to say something so bad, but I
In
can't.
this movie. In this
Only
movie.
within the continuity of this movie, not the
I
universe.
know, but I can't.
Yeah, just no.
I
Like,
was
pretend you don't know about the other movies, and we're just taking this movie at face value.
We're back in 2008.
I
I'm 15
can't.
years old. I don't know about the other films that are possibly being
Yeah,
made in
I'm
someone's head.
sorry.
Yeah, we're back in 2008 when I was 13 going on 14. I was literally about to say though, like, oh, this is the military. They probably did know.
I don't think they did.
They always know more than what they let on. I'm just gonna say that.
Yes, but there's always some people higher who know more than what the footmen that are trying to
And
take the civilians know. Those footmen
that's what I'm
probably don't
talking
know
about.
shit.
That's what I'm talking about. But they did interact with like with one of the commanding officers, and I'm pretty sure that dude knew he knew the tea.
He knew enough to get by.
Yeah, but either way, like I just wanted more from this movie, and and I remember when they were doing a lot of marketing and promotion for this movie, they were really trying to like put it off, like sell it as the American Godzilla. Like this is America's answer to Godzilla,
Mm-hmm.
and
It's so much more than just a kaiju film. So much
yeah,
more.
that the direction like after this film that they decided to take it was just completely different from what I originally expected. Um, but with just this film, yeah, just 3 out of 5. It's good.
It's good. So what's the consensus of the score?
2.9.
2.9. So it's on Paramount. It's on Paramount Plus. Go watch it. It's good, but it's not the best in the series. That trophy will go to the second one. One day we will watch the second one, and then I can just rant and rave on how fucking good it is. And then we might go back to Paradox, revisit Paradox with Housekeeper for them to watch it. So I can just geek out again. I think that was one of the first episodes I really heavily geeked out. So fucking cool. I ate good that day. So yes, that's the first Cloverfield movie. Thank you all for listening to today's episode. Go watch it on Paramount. Yeah. Go catch us next time as we talk about another kaiju movie, and probably it's gonna be my favorite one. So until then, bye.
Bye.
Bye.